When I wanted to buy a new e-kit a short while ago, I saw some videos, but there were two questions, actually three, which weren't answered online. The first question was, how does this kit sound hooked up to a VST? Well, I made a video about that, and actually pretty good. It's good playable. But the other two questions I forgot a bit about, and I'm sorry for that, because they are also just as important. And that is, how loud is this kit without being plugged in for people in apartments and stuff? Okay, before I go to that, I have to say, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I think one thing you need to do, and which is really important, is you should get some floorboards. They're like for under-laminated wood and stuff. I bought the most expensive one, so it cost me like $25 or something. And this is just like pressed cardboard or something, and you put it, normally you put it under wooden floors so people who live below you don't hear that you're walking around. These are pretty thick, as you can see, and I've just bought a pack and I dropped them on the floor. I got some duct tape and I connected them, and then I just got a piece of carpet and I put that on there and put the drums on that, because you want to have some carpet anyway, so your kick tower and your pedals stay in place. So that will do a lot for transitioning sound from your bass pedal to the floor, so you won't have any low rumble or anything that gets to the neighbors. So that's important. The drum rack itself has little rubber feet under it, so it does isolate quite well. But if you're thumping your bass pedal, it's not only hitting the kick tower, but you will probably also do things like this and things like that, and that will get a thumping sound to the ground, and this will eliminate that. Okay, that was the first thing I wanted to say. Second question, the third question was, how large is this thing? Well, you can make it as large and as small if you want. If you look at the Thomann side, they very cleverly don't give you a feeling of size, because it looks like it's just a full-blown, full-range kit. But if you can see, if I push down, this is a drum stool, and it's a little bit smaller than a 14-inch snare, so it's actually not that big. Me myself, because I use the toms in a different setup, I spread the rack a little bit wider than you normally would, so I think all by all, yeah, it's 1.5 meters or so, so it's really not that big. Do I have anything here for comparison? Yeah, well, I wouldn't actually know. Well, not here, actually, but trust me, it's not that big. Okay, so I was thinking, what could I be using as an example to compare, so you hear how this sounds volume-wise. So the first thing I came up with, oh, what I also want to say, it comes with these cheap ass drumsticks, and normally I wouldn't play with these anyway, but for the electronic kit they're actually quite nice, because they're, sorry, hay fever, they're a bit lighter, and that makes them having even less of an impact, and actually they're quite okay to play with on an e-kit. Just don't make rim shots on a real snare with this one. I think it's 3 hits, and you have 2 of these. Okay, so the first thing I brought along to let you hear is just a simple piece of cardboard. So if I do this, and now play the loudest instrument on this kit. So I just replace the camera, and that's actually the hi-hat. So this is way less loud than this. Actually, this is so loud, maybe I should fold it in half. Just a sec. Now it's a bit thicker. Yeah. Okay, if you take your... by the way, this room isn't treated acoustically. If you take a piece of cardboard and you fold it in two and you keep it a little bit tight and you play on there, that's already twice as loud as... Yeah, this is way louder. So it's actually a bad example. I didn't expect that. But you can try it at home. If you play with this and you just tap it slightly, I think actually if you take your finger and you tap it with your finger like that, and I'm even hitting it with my nail, that's about the volume you get from hitting the hi-hat. That's it. Okay, second thing I brought along, believe it or not, is a roll of toilet paper. Also your drum stool, if you don't hit it too hard. Should do like... Yeah, that's about the same volume. If I do this and this, with the difference that the drum stool sounds way more bassier. This sounds even bassier than the kick tower. Okay, I brought along a roll of toilet paper. That's about as loud, so you can just take your roll of toilet paper and just make a rim shot, hit it like this. That's about the volume the tom pads give. The snare pad gives a little bit more low end because it's a little bit bigger than the rims. Yeah, I think probably those are the loudest. They're comparable with tapping the cardboard. So I'll take that one more time. No, with the stick it's still louder. Yeah, that's about the loudest instrument. But still, hitting the cardboard like this is still louder. Okay, found it. Just rim. Play along the rim of a piece of cardboard. That's about the volume you get. So, since it isn't low end, it shouldn't go through walls. If you play it in the daytime, it shouldn't actually be a problem. I don't know how the laws are where you play, but here you're allowed to make a little bit of sound through the day till 10 o'clock. But it really isn't that much. The kick tower is actually very quiet. So I think it's the quietest thing in the whole setup. only make sure that you put enough isolation on the floor. Okay, I hope this helped you. If there's any more questions, please do. Bye.